Hey, buddy.
Hey. There you go. In a suit.
Jay Leno in a suit. Looking presidential.
Hey, Jay. How are you, friend?
Joe, how are you, man? Congratulations on all your success.
You're going to know a lot of people in the room, Jay.
Yeah. Very funny.
Oh, my God, don't say that. Huh? We got 2 Colonel Sanders in the room right now.
Oh, that's right.
We got 2.
Yeah, there you go. Oh, really good.
How's it going? Thanks.
Good.
What's going on,
I want
Jay
to
Leno?
thank Jay. I stayed because I wanted to thank you for something nice you did to me on the red carpet once, or did for me.
Oh, yeah.
It was an NBC event at 30 Rock, and it was my first red carpet. I was being interviewed, feeling pretty good about myself. And I guess Clooney got out, or one of these cats, super famous guys got out, and they dropped me and just left me standing there. And as they ran to him, you were standing there, and I know you felt really bad for me because you came over and like put your arm around. Don't worry about it. And he goes, Daryl Hammond and I are gay lovers, ladies and gentlemen. And then saved me from rank humiliation, and it was just a sweet thing to do.
Well, there you go.
Thank you. Thank you.
Good to see you again.
Yeah. Anyway, I want to say thanks.
Well, sure. Well, good to see you.
Good to see you too. What are you doing? You love your show, and you're
Tell a few jokes. You're trying to make a living. That's the gig.
you work at it.
Yeah, just on the road. Like you're on the road all the time.
On the road.
Every time I go somewhere, he's either just been there or is coming in.
Or he's coming in.
We pass each other all
Life
the
on the
time.
road.
Yeah.
Jim's got a nice show, man. It starts Sunday, the Jim Gaffigan show.
Oh, very cool.
On TV Land. So he's in
very
here.
good.
Daryl's playing Caroline's. I'm sure you know Caroline's here in New York City.
I did Caroline's 30 years ago. Yeah, I was one of the first people to open it. It was a great room.
Wow.
I'm always in the city, and I'll drive by the rooms that Jay and Gaffigan are doing, like on the way to my gig.
There you go. And Jay's got your car show. I saw
the car show.
I saw the
Jay
first.
Leno's Garage. Yeah, it's fun. We're having a lot of fun with that.
I saw the first episode last night.
Oh, okay.
It's all about supercars.
That one is. Yeah, everyone has a theme.
A little theme, right?
The fun one is the love story episode. People, that had a car and Vice President Biden got a Corvette from his dad in '67. He still has it.
Yeah.
So he got him and Colin Powell to race Corvettes. And Biden is just going crazy, doing burnouts, and the Secret Service, pull Biden up, stop, slow him down. Because vice presidents and presidents aren't supposed to drive.
Right.
And Biden's power sliding the Corvette, and he and Colin Powell almost hit each other, and they're trash talking each other. So it's really funny. It was a lot of fun.
How fast did they get up to?
80, 90 maybe.
That's pretty. That's a lot for a vice president.
not supposed to be doing 90.
Sure.
He's not allowed to drive.
You should do a minivan. We should have a minivan race.
That's right. Minivan.
we should do a Jim
I'll do it in a heartbeat.
Have you a car guy at all?
I'm not, and my dad and my brothers. My dad was, my brothers very much are.
Yeah.
And I feel a sense of guilt. I feel like
You should feel
that's
guilty.
disappearing from our culture. Like the car thing, the car identity. My dad had an MG, and he would tinker around with
Yeah.
it. And I just, I'll go home and my brother will be like, what kind of car did you rent? And I'm like, it's blue. I just don't have the
we
gene.
should do a Jim Gaffigan minivan thing.
Minivan.
How many kids can you get in, do the whole dad thing?
that's
that'd be
right.
fun.
That'd be great.
That'd be great.
I wanted to see if I could. I put all my kids in a Tesla thinking that, Elon Musk would give me a Tesla. He didn't.
Yeah.
I know. They don't give you one if you put your kids in it. No,
I know. I want one of those. How many cars do you have?
About 150.
150. And how often do you sell them?
No, I've never sold one. We auction
sold
stuff off for muscular dystrophy or veterans or stuff like that, but I don't sell them, but we do auction them. So.
Do you have a 3D printer that you use too? Someone said you had a 3D
Yeah,
printer.
3D print is great. You can make anything.
So what will you need to put through that system, like that you can't find? What can't you find?
Well, when you have 100-year-old
Keychains.
cars like I do, and junkyards don't really exist anymore because environmentally they're just not friendly and all the cars get crushed. So you scan a part or you draw a part and then you just make it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so it's pretty amazing.
That is pretty amazing. I just want to sell the show properly by saying I'm not a car guy either.
Okay.
But I watch because just how you put the whole thing together, you make it very, very interesting.
Well, it's fun. It's fun. We have a good time, and I'm glad with it. You guys like makeup and hair? What do you do? You want to talk about product? You know what I like.
I don't even change my own oil.
Wow, don't even change your
I
oil.
don't know.
You would think
a car's just for getting to places to shop.
it's just the worst.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad I'm in New York.
I had a Dodge Aspen wagon growing up.
Now, do you feel as if, there is like there's the younger generation doesn't appreciate cars. Obviously, there's tons of people.
Well,
like
you have
Chris
less-
Mazzilli loves cars. I don't know if you know he's
Like you have
owns
less
Gotham.
people that like them, but the ones that like them really know
Yeah.
a lot. I mean, it's like everything now, you know. When I was a kid, everybody kind of knew about cars the way kids now know about computers, but they didn't know a lot about them. Now you got a few guys that know a lot, and everybody else knows nothing.
Yeah.
And that's pretty much what it is. Yeah, everybody specializes, you know. That's what.
And what do you drive day to day? Like, are you like my brother would rather drive 18 hours than take a plane.
I would rather drive 18 hours than take a plane. I go. Probably brother and I we'll split it. It'll be 9 hours each. Yeah.
Another episode.
What is your go-to car, Jay?
Or do you mix it up intentionally?
No, I mix it up intentionally. I've got a Tesla, which is a lot of fun. That's a fabulous car.
Yeah.
I mean, it's really fast. I mean, that is the future. That's what it's going to be.
You don't feel it accelerate. Kevin Pollak has one, and you don't feel how fast you're accelerating. It was really weird. Like all of a sudden, you're just doing 60 miles an hour.
Yeah, no, I think you feel it. I mean, it slams you back in the seat pretty.
No, I mean, I guess the engine revving. The engine.
You don't hear
quiet,
it.
Yeah,
right?
maybe, yeah.
Do you feel like not hearing the motor is kind of like you're missing that?
No, you know what it is?
Tesla's quiet.
It's
I
like-
made the noise with my mouth.
It's one extreme or the other. when you have a car that's loud, that's really exciting. When you have a car that's completely quiet, that's really. It's stuff in the middle is just boring. When you just a regular car that goes, that's not. But the fact that the complete absence of noise, you're just there, and it's pretty amazing.
Do car people and motorcycle people, is there an overlap, or is there
There's an overlap. Yeah, anything mechanical watches, cars, motorcycles, anything that rolls, explodes, or makes noise is interesting.
robot women?
In a pinch. Hey, it's closing time. We got the robot. Okay. I mean, you go with the robot. Last call.
You have a McLaren, right?
McLaren F1. Yeah.
And,
What's a McLaren?
It's
Okay, what's a McLaren? Good night, everybody. Thank you. I'm gonna go do a real radio show. Thank you, guys.
I know what
What's
it
a
is, but the
McLaren?
listeners
Is
don't.
that a type of lip liner?
What's an engine? What?
Well,
What's a McLaren?
I
Yeah.
got to give this away a little bit. On the first episode, you kind of find out how much your McLaren's now worth. Or 5 years ago, you could get one for $3.5 million, I believe.
Yeah, now they're like 12.
And now they're $12 million.
Yeah.
I was okay with all that because you're a very successful man there, Mr. Leno. But then what I wasn't okay with was seeing you drive the $12 million car at the end of the episode. You would think you would leave that in a
No, it's there to drive.
He
That's
drives
what
them
it
all.
is.
He drives them all.
driving a $12 million
He drives them all.
car.
So
He
what do you-
drives them all.
Well, you just
That's
date
crazy.
virgins to save them from the next guy? Is that what you do? I'd like to have sex with her, but I know the next guy would be more interested, so I'm going to wait.
But, and there's footage of other cars behind the McLaren. They're in the same.
Why is it
they're on the
12
same road.
It's
Is
still
it
a
made
car.
of human bones? Why is it $12
I don't know
million?
why it's 12 million.
Actually, it is actual human bone.
What kind of car is it?
I get that you would drive the car, but it was in traffic with other cars. I'm like, these other cars
But you know,
don't
when I
know it's a
bought
$12
it,
million car.
when I bought it, it was still just a car. It's only gone up, and I've had it 20 years. And
Oh.
it's gone up. It was expensive originally, but not as expensive.
What'd you
as
get
now.
it for, Jay?
It was $800,000 new.
What kind of car? What is it?
And now it's
And
12
why is
million.
it so?
It's a McLaren
expensive?
F1. It's a very rare, unusual type of car, and they only built 64 of them, and that's why the price is. It's better than the stock market,
Is it old or is it like an older car?
It's a
or-
1994.
So when you watch Fast and the Furious, that movie series,
No, that's a really stupid movie.
Vin Diesel lifts the car.
Any car movie where the people go, whoa! It's going to be a bad car movie.
Bad car movie, great porno.
It's opposite.
I can tell you one thing about the McLaren: you sit in the middle,
You sit
which
in
I
the
thought
middle,
was pretty
and you have
cool.
2 seats on either side.
But
which-
the passenger seats are obviously slightly behind
slightly
you.
behind you, yeah.
So you got the whole view.
And once
to
again,
yourself.
laws have changed. You can't have a seat in the middle anymore, so that makes it rare for that reason.
Why have you designed your own car?
No, I'm not a car designer. I mean, you got to be, a smart
But
guy.
is like golfers, professional golfers, they all end up designing their own golf course, right?
I don't know, dude. I'm not a
When are you
golfer.
going to start a car
Jack, do you play
company?
I'm not a golf guy.
I'm not an active guy.
No.
I mean, walking outside in the blistering
That's it.
heat.
Yeah.
No.
I know what you're talking about, though. Jack Nicklaus, he designs golf courses.
Well,
now.
Jack Nicklaus is a real golfer. He deserves his own golf course.
Yeah.
But as much as you know about cars,
You're a real car
you're
guy,
very,
though.
yeah, I don't know a bigger car guy than you.
Well, I don't know enough to design one. I'm not going to fool myself into thinking. Just because Michael Jordan can play basketball, he doesn't mean he's a great baseball player.
Sure.
Did you? How much time do you spend every day working on them?
I'm at my garage every day. That's what I do.
Like you wake up and just go there.
Yeah, that's what I do. That's my Malibu beach house. I'm not really I know you like the hookers and stuff. I prefer to work at my garage.
Yeah, I don't have 150 of them in a
He's
room.
normal. He has inappropriate relationships with cars.
Right, exactly.
How do you feel about women?
Exactly.
He feels about metal
And that's true.
machines.
When you can sit in the middle and there's two on either side, that is more expensive. So.
Yeah.
And you're going to have an episode with Caitlyn Jenner.
Huh?
Yeah, that was. What's funny? I've known her since 1976.
Wow.
The most competitive person you'll ever meet, and as Caitlyn, still the most competitive. She still races Porsches. I mean, if you blindfold her and you talk to her, you think you're still talking to the old Bruce.
Right.
Nice person, really competitive, can really race car. The greatest athlete in the world at one point.
Yeah.
And, that doesn't leave you. No matter what you do, you can grow your hair and get the injections. You're still
Right.
a damn good athlete and can still beat anybody else in any other sport.
Has that competitive spirit.
No, it was fun. What happened was he brought his daughter, or she brought a daughter, Kendall, to my garage, and Kendall saw my 57 Corvette. Said, I want to get an old Corvette. And I told Caitlin, you don't put a teenager in a 50-year-old car. It doesn't have airbags and all stuff. But Kendall's pretty mature, and she really wanted one. So we found her a 56 Corvette, and we made sure the brakes were good and everything. And we just wanted to get a teenager's version of driving. Modern cars all have air and power steering and all these things, the AM, FM, Sirius, the whole bit. This doesn't have any of that. AM radio, boom, that's it. Stiff, that's all it's got. And it was interesting to hear a young person's, a version of driving a car that was the standard car when I was a kid.
Sure.
And that's what we shot. So it was kind of fun.
Very cool.
Did she like it?
She loves the car. Yeah, and a nice, really nice. In that family,
Nice what?
nice kid.
He's trying to say regular. Yeah.
Like every guy was like, nice.
In that family, you think you'd wind up all screwed up. But she's the most normal kid. Really not. I mean, she's like the hottest model in the world right now, and very normal and a sweet kid.
It looks like you really enjoy doing this show.
Yeah, it's fun. We have a good time. When I would do the Tonight Show, I didn't know all of Jay-Z's music. I'm not a big sports guy, so I'd have to sort of study. Who's this guy? Okay.
Yeah.
Whereas this is what I like to do, so it's kind of
Second
fun.
nature.
And no publicist to deal with, no idiot stuff like that.
You guys had to put up with that too, the publicist.
Oh, isn't that funny?
Yeah, I wouldn't think that they would have to.
No.
on that level.
My favorite one was, I remember when we had some ice skater who was in the Olympics, who was in Playboy. Hadn't done anything for 10 years, and suddenly in Playboy.
Yeah.
Katarina Witt.
Yeah, that's what it is. Good. Yeah, I didn't want to say anything, but that's what it is. Good call. So I say, okay, let's book it. Second guest, fine.
Yeah.
I go in the dressing room. We always say hello. The publicist says, Miss Leno, can I speak to you, please? Yeah. We are not discussing the Playboy. Really? I said, I can get a comic here in 9 minutes. Okay? I mean, thank you. I mean, it just gets to the point. Oh, shut up. That's why you're here.
Of course.
That's why you're here.
Did you discuss Playboy?
Huh?
Did you discuss it?
I said, look, I'm not gonna hang out to dry here, but you're America's sweetheart. You're gonna tell us why you did. That's all. That's why you're here. So shut up.
Yeah.
I love that he had to deal with that.
Oh, you go through the public. Oh yeah.
Oh, it's crazy.
So,
sometimes.
like, this show versus the other show, it's like, this is on your terms.
Well, this is like you call someone like Brad Paisley up and they go, hey, I know you're a car guy. I don't care about your album. I don't care about your personal. We're just going to talk cars and motorcycles. Great. And that's what it is. And we stick to that. We don't
That's
go
great.
into anybody's cocaine bust or any of that nonsense.
Yeah. You have Nick Cannon on the first episode.
Yeah.
He was fun.
Yeah, Nick was fun.
I didn't realize he was in the car business.
He is.
He has a bunch of cars, but his problem is he doesn't like driving them fast.
Yeah, I don't quite get that.
That was a little
but
weird.
Yeah, that
to
kinda
find
weird.
out.
Yeah, it was like doing this show. Yeah. I don't quite get it. Hey.
All right.
I love the steam car. That's my favorite one.
The steam cars are a lot of fun.
He
You
has.
drive on the street?
Well, yeah, that's where you take cars. No, I fly them through the air. Yeah, you drive them on the street.
Chitty chitty bang bang.
No, it's nitty gritty gangbang. It's different. Yeah,
I didn't know if that was legal, but you can.
it
take
is
them.
legal. Everybody thinks everything's legal. It's America. You can,
Well, just
still,
like-
you can still do stuff.
How far away are we from a flying car?
Great question.
Because isn't one of the Google guys developing a flying car?
Well, if you think about it,
It's a plane.
This is esoteric, but you actually have flying cars now.
Meaning airplane.
No, meaning subways. An airplane goes through, when you fly, you have to fly in a certain
Right.
corridor, a certain
Yeah.
channel.
Okay.
Okay, so you take that, instead of putting it in the air, put it in the ground.
Right.
And the subway is essentially a flying car. You get in it, and it takes you to. If you get a flying plane, a plane can't just fly anywhere.
Right.
It's got to go up, stay on this
Certain
on this
altitude and-
roadway,
Yeah.
and fly at a certain thing. So essentially, a subway does the same thing.
There you go.
You get in it, and you go through the ground, and boom.
All right, but you got to ride with other assholes.
Yeah, well, it's like doing a radio show, you know.
He's sticking with it. He's sticking with it.
But to answer your question, I think it's far away.
It's pretty far away.
It's just most people don't pay attention on the road. Can you imagine falling out of the sky? The penalty for error seems excessive.
It just seems like Elon Musk and like these Google guys are doing stuff that I'm like, really?
Yeah.
We can't figure out how to feed everyone, but you're going to go to the moon on a hot air
On a
balloon?
tricycle.
You remind me of go to the moon in a hot air balloon. I see your knowledge of physics.
Yes, I'm all science.
My favorite line in the series Breaking Bad is when Aaron Paul and
Bryan Cranston.
Bryan Cranston, or the cops are chasing him, and he goes, "You're a scientist. Can't you make a robot and get us out of here?" That same kind of thing.
The same
It's a
kind
flying
of-
car. Yeah.
Do you miss doing the Tonight Show with
No.
with Trump? Wouldn't you have had
Oh, my
fun with
God.
Trump though?
You know,
Or would you guys have just not
I
mentioned
watched Trump's new reality show, The Amazing Racist. Have you seen it?
He's still writing. Still writing.
See, I grew up
Still right.
See, I was lucky. I did the show, and then Clinton was horny, Bush was dumb, Gore was a robot. It was a little easier. I don't like the ugliness of this campaign. I mean, every night to keep doing that, you feel like I'm just giving this guy another platform.
Yeah.
I don't. Every other president you could find, okay, I don't like him on this issue, but okay, maybe this. Whereas this one's, it's too ugly. I'm glad I'm not involved in it.
Oh, okay.
Hardly ever hear a comic say that. You
No,
know,
it's true. It's
no,
true.
yeah, right. I agree.
You know what I mean? I would. It would be an honor to be on Trump's enemies list. I was too young for Nixon and
Sure.
McCarthy,
Yeah.
but it'd be fine with me to be on Trump's
I
enemies.
thought you liked him. I did the show once when he was the. I guess he was the lead guest, and I had done like a field piece.
I
or
did
something.
like him, but I used to like Cosby too. Okay, things happen.
I just started liking him. So yeah, that makes sense.
It does make sense. There's all right. That's the answer to that.
Okay, this is called a lull, I think, isn't
No,
it?
It's
Yeah.
okay. We can
Okay.
breathe. Can't we breathe like Daryl Hammond's been
How many-
breathing?
Jay, I need
People want to know who's breathing
Taking a
into the
breather.
mic.
So we have so many comedians here. Do you think that and you're legendary for like needing to do stand up, right? You're a stand up.
Well, I enjoy
I mean, you
doing
enjoy it, but
Yeah.
like there is something like it's not about. I mean, you jokingly say. I mean, you mentioned that it's like I'm making a living and so. But I think if I don't do stand up for like a month, I would literally be in an insane asylum.
Oh,
Do
I
you
think
feel-
that's true.
Do you think that's true?
But see, I'm dyslexic, so I've never written anything down. So if I don't keep doing it,
I've never done a joke twice. No, I'm joking. You've never written anything down?
well, I don't really. I mean, like today, I'm doing Fallon, so I kind of
Yeah.
take a few notes. But
Yeah.
I mean, I don't have a file or any of that kind of stuff. I just never did. I just try to. I work every day, and I try to come up with something, and the old stuff falls by the way. So you know how that is.
Yeah,
Guys
yeah,
are right.
yeah.
How many times you go to the Improv and there's a guy doing a bit about, hey, yeah, how about Reagan's trip to Pittsburgh? You remember that? No, that was like 40 years ago.
Yeah,
okay,
right.
so stop it.
Yeah.
So it keeps you moving. So I mean, that's why I like to do it. Have
Yeah.
you ever gone a month without working? I've gone maybe 4 or 5 days.
I did something, but I was doing something where I, like a play or something.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it's,
Wait, even
my
after-
wife, my wife will
sorry.
be like, go do stand up.
Yeah,
You're
because
getting
the
crazy.
stage is not a normal place to be.
No.
And unless you're there all the time, it becomes abnormal. You go on stage and you go, something throws you, somebody drops something or a light. Whereas if you do it every day, it becomes second nature.
Yeah.
So you get it. See, you're a real comic. You get it.
So you're talking to Siri then. If you can't write it down, if you don't like writing, Siri is pretty good. Like I'll talk a lot of jokes into that. And
Right,
just
right,
puts in, so it's a way to avoid writing them down if you don't.
Yeah, sometimes you can do that, sure.
Oh, I just got a text. If you want to kill Daryl's breathing, just turn off Mike 6.
What? What happened?
There's some breathing going on, that's all. I thought it was an important message, but it's from Eric. Mike 6, if you want to kill Daryl breathing into the mic.
They're attacking your breathing. Why?
Who's got to go? Jim Gaffigan's go?
Do I have to go?
Oh, fuck.
Jim's got to go. You got a gig?
I've got a gig.
He's been here for a while.
I'm going to be on Sesame Street.
No, cool.
Yeah?
That's
Really?
Yeah, I'm playing Santa.
No, I give this guy a lot
I
of
always
credit.
play a
He's
fat
great,
guy.
and you do it clean. I mean, I tend to work
thanks.
clean also,
There you
but
go.
it really is twice as hard. And the fact that you've had such tremendous success, and
thanks.
it's really funny,
Oh,
and,
thank you.
it's really good material. I mean,
appreciate
a lot
it.
of people sort of rely on, just the punchline that's a 4-letter word, and you go, okay, that doesn't really work. Where you always have something clever, and I admire you.
I
go,
appreciate it.
In fact, I go, I wish I had that.
Oh, well, thanks.
Wow, look at that.
I'm only
Nice.
clean because Jesus told me to.
Well, there you go. There you go. Okay.
But thank you. That means a lot.
I want to get
really
a group
appreciate
pic. Can we get a group picture?
it. Yeah.
I'm sorry. Yeah, I got to go. Let's get a group picture.
Let's get a group picture. Let's talk to Jay a little more, and you know.
You heading out, Jim?
I'm gonna
We're
go
gonna
and
lose him.
play a fat guy as usual.
Are you
All
really
right,
doing
all right.
Sesame Street?
I'm so excited. Like, as a parent with 5 children, it's a huge to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Something your
It's a
kids can
huge
see,
thing.
yeah.
I sent them a tape, but I haven't heard back.
Well, I end up watching all the Sesame Streets, and I'll see all these.
I think you're
cameos,
doing
and I'm
Seaman
like,
Street.
Nice.
He's on Seaman Street. It's a whole different.
No, it's not a show. It's a beverage.
It's a beverage. Yeah.
Edgy Leno right there.
Can we take a quick break to get a picture, and then all right, can you stick around a little longer? Jay?
Sure, why not?
Jay Leno, Jim Gaffigan,
That's so
thank you.
cool.
TV Land
Thank
Sunday for the Jim Gaffigan Show.
2
Daryl
episodes.
Hammond at Caroline's Thursday through Sunday, and
When do you
more
tape
with
that, New York?
somebody
What's that, TV Land
after
in
this.
New
Stay
York?
there. And Vic Henley, and of course Jim Norton.
And Daryl left, and Gaffigan had some more press to do.
That was crazy. That was just how it happened.
That was fun.
It was fun to
It was
walk
good to
into
meet
that
you. I
room.
didn't know Jim. I've never really met Jim before. So
No, he was very happy too. He
Yeah,
was genuinely sincere with
he
all
was
the
a good
nice
guy.
things you said to
Good
him.
guy. He's really good.
He's a very funny comic, and his show is really good.
Yeah,
It's like to be an original with the family thing. Like we've seen that a million times, and he does it original.
Right.
And nobody's doing that now, so it's kind of cool.
The episode he did with the priest last year. I don't know if you guys. It's wonderful.
Okay, let's not get into personal life. Okay, I don't think. oh, I'm sorry. I got
No, it was a storyline. It was a
I just
storyline.
followed the usual news story.
It's very clever, and we're on an episode this year, so
Yeah.
we're excited.
No,
you
it's a
know.
good show. It's a good show.
But Jay's here, Jay Leno's Garage. I saw the first episode. It was really good.
Well,
man.
thanks, you guys.
It's very easy to watch, and I
thanks.
learned a little bit.
Yeah, I get a little tired of these car shows where the guys fold their arms and they have tattoos, and then they build a car in a week. And then, you can't build a car in a week. Okay, it doesn't work. That way.
No, and you don't learn anything.
No.
I want to see the garage. It's one thing I haven't done. I want to go see the
All those
garage.
You've been to the show a million times, and you could come at any time.
I didn't want to bother you.
I was invited once. I was with Foxworthy once, and
Yeah.
he invited both
Yeah,
of us, and
but-
I did not
yeah.
go. Foxworthy
Why
went.
would you go?
I was stupid. I was busy.
I would guess that was the reason. Yeah, I would go with that. Yeah, I think he's really being honest.
No, I was a jackass, and I literally figured
No,
I
I
had
would go with
something.
stupid. Jackass, because jackass implies you could be smart.
Okay.
I would go with the stupid.
James is mean.
And why wouldn't he's mean? And why wouldn't you bother him?
Because we done the show.
You bother me every day at the show. Why would you?
I know.
What's one more bother?
I know.
Yeah.
I know. I just felt like I didn't want to.
What kind of atmosphere is there at the garage? You got the music cranking. You got a lot of people working
No,
there.
there's no music
is there
cranking.
popcorn?
It's a garage.
Is there a popcorn machine? I want to know.
Yeah, popcorn, music, disco ball. Yeah, that's basically what it is. It's a dance club with cars in it. Yeah.
I feel like it would be a
That's what it
great,
is. Yeah,
great
yeah.
hang. you
Yeah,
know?
yeah,
It's
yeah.
boring.
Real, great to be with real car guys. It's fun. Yeah.
I know. All right.
Well, so it's kind of. Do you keep it quiet in there, or do you? Now, what time do you wake up? 'Cause
You're thinking the same thing
I'm
as me.
fascinated. Yeah.
Because I'm like, all right, I can only see so many of these wonderful cars. What else you got in this garage that I can
exactly.
look at?
My rest my case. Yeah. Great to be here with the girls. Thanks.
How many hours a day do you spend working on that?
I'm there all the time.
You are.
And plus, we do the show there, so consequently, you're one reason or the other, So.
But that's just relaxing for you.
It is relaxing for me. That's what I like to do. Because comedy's subjective. Some people think you're funny, some people think you suck, and they're both right. But when you take something that's broken and you fix it, no one can say it's not running. Look, it's running. Oh, okay. So there's a certain amount of satisfaction. Plus, when you work in show business, you get a skewed sense of reality. I remember we had a big star on I won't say who it is, but during the break, he says to me, hey, I want to get a cool sports car. It's cool. I said, this new Ferrari's pretty good. And this guy goes, yeah. Everybody has a Ferrari, though. And I go, okay, first of all, everybody does not have a Ferrari. Okay, if you say that in public, you'll be taken out in the street. You'll be beaten. Most kids have never even seen a Ferrari. Right, and so for you to say everybody has one, where do you live? All right, get off of Sunset. Go 2 streets either direction. Okay, you won't see any Ferrari. Right. And that's what happens.
You get jaded, for sure.
Yeah. What's one of the hardest things you've had to fit? Because I have zero. I mean, you look at me, you probably think I'm very handy. But I
don't think that at all. I think you're a former meth head. That's what I think. Yeah.
Former meth head.
Yeah.
What's one of the hardest things you've had to actually fix that you thought, I'm not going to be able to do this?
Well, I bought cars that were just in a box in pieces, and then you have to put it together and make everything. So we've done that. I don't do it myself. I got to really tell.
Have you ever been stumped? Is that? I don't know if he's asking you that.
All the time. Sure,
and you just have to give up and abandon ship.
But you have to move forward and fix it, as opposed to sitting down and crying.
Right. That's probably the beauty of it. It's like a puzzle, and then figuring it all out.
No, my older brother's a car guy fiend like he is,
and doing the research and all that. I like just learning about these cars that were on the show.
Yeah, no, it's
last
great
night.
Fun. That's kind of what the idea is.
How many does Brian Johnson have? Brian from ACDC.
Oh,
he's a big car guy.
I know. Yeah, he's a funny guy.
Yeah, he's great.
He's a really funny guy. I know. He's not with the band anymore, right? He's got some.
There's been problems.
Hearing.
He's getting a little better.
I know he had some hearing problems, and the doctor told him about it, but it fell on deaf ears.
Hey,
good night, everybody.
Dogs are funny, don't you hate cats?
Who has more cars?
Oh, I would say
him.
I might have a few more than Brian, I guess.
Okay.
I don't think anyone has more than you, right?
No, a lot of people have more than me.
What's the square footage? What's the square footage on the garage?
About 120,000 square feet.
That's an airplane hangar, right?
Yeah.
It's a super Walmart.
It's a Walmart. I guess you put it in stores you would know.
I do, exactly, Jay. Thank you. Absolutely. Yes. I will hillbillyfy everything.
Right. Yeah, Walmart. Yeah. You want to go with the best. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And do you have car insurance on all those cars, Jay?
Yes, that's what you do. You have a car. No, I just have it on one. Yeah.
Just on the McLaren.
You have car insurance on all cars.
I'm just thinking of what that bill has to look like. Oh, my God.
It looks like any other bill. It's just the numbers are bigger.
Well, I mean, we're regular people here, Jay. Maybe
you're all regular people.
Maybe,
Maybe
to you it's no big deal, but I'm thinking car insurance on 150 cars, and some of them are worth $12 million.
That's a tab.
That's a tab.
That's why I'm on the road. That's
State Farm,
that's why I'm doing this stupid program. Yeah.
Geico.
Yeah, exactly.
Who are you with? Progressive?
Yeah, that's what it is.
The General?
Actually, Haggerty. Yeah.
Haggerty.
Yeah.
Are you still going home every night after gigs? I was in Vegas recently, and they're like, when Jay would do the room, even if he was doing Friday, Saturday, he'd go back to LA.
No, I commute. I don't stay. You get in trouble. I don't gamble. I don't drink. I don't smoke. I don't screw around. What am I going to do in Vegas?
Right.
So I go, tell jokes. I like any gig where I can see the airport from the stage. That's nice about Vegas.
You like getting out.
And you look at, there's the airport right there.
Right there.
I go to my plane. I go home.
Oh, okay.
That's his trademark forever. That's all he's been known to do forever.
Me, right. That you just don't like being on the road.
I like being on the road, but I was talking about this with someone the other day. When you're on the road, you do things on the road you would never do, like read the whole newspaper. Like you just sit and look at that, tuna casserole with a graham cracker crust. Wonder how they make that.
That'd be horrible.
And then you read it, and then that's what it is. And you watch daytime TV. The road is pretty awful.
Do you want to take real car questions? Maybe that'll help the interview because we.
You got car questions coming up?
We're not car experts.
Let's talk about something else. We're not talking about cars.
Yeah, all right, how about Letterman? Have you guys seen each other since?
No, I haven't seen Dave. I guess he's doing okay. He's got the big beard now.
The beard is scaring a lot of people.
That's fine. I think that's Dave's sense of humor. He's still got that twinkle. I see him. So, yeah, he's still Dave. I wouldn't worry about that.
And you guys are on good terms?
We're never on bad terms. I mean, your shows compete against one another. We started out together. And when I started, I remember the first time I saw Letterman. He was kind of awkward, but a great wordsmith. He could put words and sentences together that were really clever. And I thought, boy, that guy's really good. And I think when he saw me, I was kind of loud and verbose and kind of walked around the stage like I owned the joint. And I think, I think he liked that. So we sort of, I learned a little bit more about putting a joke together from Dave, and I think he learned a little bit about performing for me. And so I think we complement each other. I mean, when I used to do his show, it was my favorite time. Because Letterman always liked a joke on the way to the joke, more than he liked the joke. You know, I remember we'd talk and I'd say, you know, Dave, I was just out of the old Manson place this weekend. And Dave would go, the old Manson place? Yeah, the place hasn't changed, you know. And then we wind up doing 5 or 10, before I ever got to the joke, you know. And that was always the fun part, because Dave, he's a real comic, and he knows how to weave it and go back and forward with it. So it was always a lot of fun. Plus, he would always get nervous before a show. My favorite thing to do was I would buy a huge meatball sandwich around the corner, and then I would wait for Dave to come down to makeup when he was at NBC, and I would stand right at the makeup thing eating his sandwich and let him go, "What? How can you eat that stupid sandwich? What, you're going on if I'm, Dave, I'm trying to, you can't eat before he would get over it." And nothing I love more than bringing like food out on the desk and just eating off the desk with Dave, just to watch him get flustered and get annoyed. It was a lot of fun. It was a great time.
I think I remember that.
Yeah,
I think
we had a lot of fun doing those. Yeah.
So you don't panic, like you never, before you go on, you'll eat right before you go on, you don't care.
It doesn't matter to me. What is it?
Yes, people are weird about that, though. Comics are strange.
It's his thing.
But I've lost a lot of those fear-based things I wouldn't do before, and now it's like less important to, I have a ritual. I really don't, you know.
No, if you work every day, the ritual goes away. You know, when you work once a week or 2 times a month, like I said to Jim, the stage becomes an unnatural place to be. So you got to have everything on. If talking off stage is the same as talking on stage, it just becomes second nature. You know?
Yeah.
But how do you not get? You're not a bitter guy. Like I learned that you really don't handle these things angrily. That would have really upset me. These little bullshit things that happen in show business, you just handle even keeled.
Well, this is why show business pays a lot of money. So when you get screwed, you got something left over. You know, policemen, nurses, these people get screwed in their jobs every day, but they don't get paid thousands of dollars for it. And that's my rationale. You know, I got the same friends I had in high school. Everything is gravy past a certain point. So you go, okay, so you got a little rough patch here. Oh, fine. So you move on, you go to the next thing. I mean, how many comics you've seen lose their funny because they're bitter? You know, I remember Skip Stevenson? Sure. Mm-hmm. I remember he got divorced. He would get on stage. Anyway, I was talking with my ex-wife yesterday, and the anger would explode. Sure. You know, if you wind up doing some jokes about stuff you really hate, the hate overruns the joke, and you can't do it.
I've been on the road with a guy and watched from the beginning of the week to the end, just watch him totally ruin the whole goddamn thing because he couldn't hold the anger.
I always tell comics, if you can make it to the stage for 7 years, you'll work for the rest of your life.
Pryor said that. Pryor said 7 years somewhere.
Did he say that?
Yeah, okay. He said he thought it took 7 years.
Because most guys can't physically make it. You get sick of your act. You hate the audience for laughing at the same joke you've been doing every night for 5 years. You're too straight. You're too gay. You're too drunk. You're too high. There's always some reason you can't physically make it to the stage. But if you can do it for 7, then you're in. You know, I like, Jim is a guy that's been around a long time, and now he's having all this tremendous success because it takes you that long.
Sure.
You know?
Yeah, and I remember watching him, Gaffney, when at the old comic strip open mics, and just watching him develop. And he was dirty at one point. He's never filthy, but he was a little dirtier, and then he just made a decision, I think. This is kind of the way.
Well, that was my problem. I was never dirty enough to be a dirty comic, but I had a couple of, fucks or something in there, and it was like, oh, we can't hire you. Really? Well, and it didn't take that much. It's easy to take a clean joke and make it dirty. It's almost impossible.
It's very hard to clean up a dirty joke.
I can't remember who the comic was, but there was I do, but I'm not going to say his name. There was a comic who had a really funny bit about Cracker Jacks. And he says, and he called it a prize. It's not a prize. It's a piece of shit. I don't get a big laugh. Okay. So he did it on the Tonight Show. And he didn't change it till the show. And he said, yeah, Cracker Jack, it's not a prize. It's a hunk of dung. And you saw Johnny go,
oh, God.
What? Hunk? What?
A hunk of dung.
And they cut to Johnny going, hunk. It doesn't have the same impact.
Right.
A hunk of dung.
Yeah, it didn't quite have
and a classic comedy mistake. You don't try the brand new joke for the first time on the Tonight Show.
With
but
Carson.
it's amazing how many comics do that. They panic at the last minute.
That's idiotic.
And they change it to it's hilarious.
It's Comedy 101.
Yeah,
you don't fucking try a brand new joke on the Tonight Show.
Right.
You would think you would figure out the ultimate
you field tested a couple of
got out
times.
there, right?
Exactly.
These guys really want to talk about cars. I think
Go ahead. What they got?
All right, we got to take a couple maybe. You might have bought this guy's uncle's motorcycle. Do you want that one?
Go ahead. What is it?
All right. Let's we'll start with Kevin in New York. We got Jay Leno in
Hey,
studio.
Kev, how you doing?
Kevin.
Hey, good morning. It's an honor. Hey, Jay, it's reported that you bought my uncle's 47 Indian Chief at his estate sale about 10 years ago. I just wonder if that was true.
Where was his estate sale?
It was in Richmond, Indiana.
No, I didn't. I do have a 47 Chief. I didn't get it in Richmond, Indiana, but
There you go.
oh, sorry about that.
You couldn't have said yes.
He's been telling us.
yes. This guy's been telling this story.
Well, I know. I'm sorry about that. No, but I didn't buy it. But
How many times he's gotten laid with this story?
I'm sorry about that. Yeah. No, if you're getting laid with that story, you don't need the story. Okay.
It's the only thing this family has.
Yeah. I'm sorry about that, Kev.
Are you sure?
That's cool.
Yeah. All right.
Jay's a comic.
All right. Oh,
What's
my
the next
God. I
question?
feel, wow. Let's say hi to Steve in Canada. Steve, go ahead.
Hi, Jay. I'm a big fan.
Thanks.
I'm in the process of either getting a Hellcat Challenger or a Hellcat Charger. But from a collectible point of view or value, would I be better off with the Challenger?
Yeah, better off with the Challenger. Challenger is the one that gets all the Hellcat Charger is a little bit faster. The Challenger, because of aerodynamics, tops out at about 196, whereas you can go a little over 200 in the Charger. But the Charger's a four-door, and four-doors don't traditionally hold their value the way two-doors do.
I'm with him.
You're with me.
No,
still.
my older brother's 12 years older than I am, and he's this guy. So I grew up listening to all this.
Yes. What it is.
You know this language. You speak this language.
I can't do anything with it, but I understand what he's saying.
The Charger is the better sleeper. It just looks like a taxi cab.
Okay.
But the Challenger's get the Challenger stick. That'll be the one that'll be most valuable. I've got the 6-speed. It's not as fast as the 8-speed automatic, but it's more fun to drive.
Nice.
All right, that's great. Thanks.
You said something just made me think. Do you drive trucks as well? Like I have this fascination with giant sleeper trucks.
That's because you're 12.
Yeah.
It's from years of being at truck stops and having men come over and talk to you. That's what it was. Yeah. That's why you like the sleeper truck.
It's nostalgia.
He's got a fascination with it.
So what is your fascination with truck?
Well, I think you just answered it. I think it's
you got
cool.
to the root of the problem.
They're cool. It's like a little mini house. I kind of want to be in one, but I've never been in one.
If you meet truckers, don't describe it as a little mini house, okay? That's not the best way to ingratiate yourself with the trucker. Yeah,
you don't drive them?
Yeah, I've got a couple of trucks.
Oh, you do?
Sure.
What do you have?
I've got a 1916 autocar coal truck, which is hilarious to drive. And I've got a few other trucks as well.
But like no modern, like giant.
I got a 1946 Shell oil truck, one of those big ones with the big tank on the back, which is, I just fill it up with about 800 gallons of gas. So I have my own gas station. So it works out okay.
I don't know if he's kidding or not, right?
What's the next call?
I'm not even going to ask. I have no idea. Let's say hi to Todd in New Hampshire. Todd,
where in New Hampshire are you, Todd?
East Andover.
Okay, I'm from Andover. You're not far from me. What's the question?
The hit-miss engines, I restore them as well. And are you going to do anything on your show with those?
I got a couple of hit-and-miss engines, and I got a couple of steam engines. If you go to Jay Leno's Garage on YouTube, you'll see some hit-and-miss stuff and some...
Can you explain what a hit-and-miss is? I do.
Hit-and-miss is a big single-cylinder engine that it works... How can I describe it? It's an industrial engine. It's not a car engine.
Okay.
It's one of the ones that go bang, 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 and it turns a big flywheel and it runs a lathe or milling machine or whatever.
Yeah, you would use it for different things. It was an all-purpose.
Right.
Yeah,
Exactly.
Gotcha. All right. You good, Todd?
Yes, thank you. I look forward to seeing that.
Thank you, my friend.
What's the rarest car you've ever been around that you couldn't have?
The rarest car that I could...
The one that you're like, if I could steal this is the one I would take home.
But they're not selling it.
Steal this.
Yeah.
This is the one I would take.
They're not selling it or whatever.
There's a bunch, a couple of Alfa Romeos and a few others in there that I would like from the 30s.
American one? Anyone American car in that category?
Well, I got a few Duesenbergs and I got a Chrysler Turban car, so I'm pretty much covered on that.
Why was the Edsel such a piece of shit? What was it about it?
It wasn't. The Edsel was a fine car. The trouble with it was, this is before they did marketing. The Edsel was like $200 more than a Mercury and $200 less than a Lincoln. So anybody looking at it would go, for that $200, I could have a Lincoln, and it's not that much better than it's just the Mercury with a different grill. It was just one of those. Back in the 50s, they were trying to slot cars into every price range, you know. So although $200 isn't that much now, it was a lot back then. So they had a car in that, and the Edsel came in that middle. It had some Lincoln features and some. But then most people said, I'll just spend the extra money. They were trying to make a premium brand from brand new. Now you have Acura, you have Lexus. Acura is Honda, Lexus is Toyota. They're upscale versions of that. Edsel was trying to do that, but it didn't quite work.
So it just got a bad rap. It
wasn't a bad car. It was no different than the other Ford at the period. Just had a different grille and some different upholstery. But it didn't really fool anybody. Anybody would say, I might as well spend a couple bucks more and get the prestige of the Lincoln, you know.
What was wrong with Lee Iacocca's car? Why'd that suck?
Which one?
I don't know. Which is the one that brought
K car?
Yeah,
K car?
what was the one that really...
The K car, some assembly required? Remember that? Why a K car? Some assembly required. Yeah.
This guy wants to know. Well, let him ask.
Go ahead.
It's Matt in Connecticut.
Hey, Matt in Connecticut.
Now he's on. Matt, go ahead.
Hey, the DeLorean, love it or hate it?
Hate it.
That's what I meant.
I didn't like DeLorean because
That's why I went.
turned out to be a cokehead. DeLorean was my hero when I was a kid. He was the guy that pioneered the GTO,
the GOAT.
the 442. He was the performance arm of General Motors when General Motors was a big stuffy corporation. He wore the Italian suits and he had long hair like the Beatles, that kind of long hair for 1960s anyway. And he was like a cool guy. And I thought, he went off to start his own car company. And I think he started it with good intentions. Then he got in over his head. The car wasn't what he thought it would be. It wasn't a very good car. And then he made that cocaine deal to try and keep the whole thing going. And it just kind of went down the drain. So I never forgave him for being just a cokehead.
Do you have one?
No, I don't.
To have?
No interest in it.
You got the goat? You still have the...
No, I don't have
442?
No, I got a Tornado that we got modified, but no, I don't have that.
Nice.
Cool.
And then we could take one more here.
Go ahead.
Brian in Virginia, go ahead.
Hey guys, how's it going?
Good. What's up, Brian?
Question for Jay.
Yeah.
About Bill Hicks. I read his biography called American Scream.
Right.
I did not know that you and he used to be pretty close.
Very close. You know what happened with me?
Yeah.
It's really interesting. I knew him when he was 15 years old, and he wanted to be a comedian, and we hung out for a while, and we got to be friends. I still know his parents. And we had a good thing going. And then he was going to come on the Tonight Show and do that Jesus routine. And I said to him, the network won't let you do it. And he started, no, you got. I said, I'm just telling you, they'll cut it up. And so he got mad at me. And then he started bad-mouthing me and this kind of stuff. And then he said, I'm going to go and Letterman do it. And I said, Letterman's going to cut it up too. It's network. It's not Dave. It's not me. You can't do the Jesus. Oh, no, screw you. So he did on Letterman, and then Letterman cut it up and edited it down. But by that time, he had made the rounds and been trashing me and stuff. So I forgave him for that. I got it. He was a young guy and very funny and very rebellious and angry. I mean, he was a true rebel kind of comedian, and very, very good. And then he got pancreatic cancer, and he passed
32
away.
years old.
Yeah. I mean,
He was only 32.
Yeah.
I was friends with his family, and we were close, and we had that one incident, and then he went after me because I was doing Dorito commercials and some other stuff like that.
He made you the punchline. He had a whole Antichrist thing, and he would always, every few years, he would switch who he thought the Antichrist was, and he got mad at him and changed it to him.
That's okay, but that's comedy. That's
No, you're right.
My thing is, look, you're a comedian. You're selling stuff here. This is what you do. I'm not selling tobacco. I'm not selling drugs. I'm not selling Doritos. Okay, well, he took umbrage with that. That's fine. That was okay.
Sure.
I mean, I always liked him, and I felt bad when he passed away. But we were close friends, and I'd like to think we were friends when he died. So,
was that the routine that Letterman regretted cutting up, and they eventually showed the whole thing?
He cut him out entirely.
Cut him out entirely. 25 years later, he showed.
And then
25 years later. But
Brought
at
his
the
mom
time,
on.
I told Bill, you can't do it on TV. I said, it's not me. It's not.
So he should have known.
Dave will, because Dave owns his show and he can do it. Says it doesn't matter if Dave owns his show. I don't own my show. I don't have final cut. Okay, it belongs to NBC. Oh no. And and then he trashed me for weeks and weeks and weeks, and it got picked up everywhere. And then when it went on Letterman, it got cut out.
Right.
But nobody knew because it didn't air.
Right.
So, and then it aired 20, and then Dave finally showed it 20. I think Dave had.
He brought his mom on. He brought his mom on.
Yeah.
Jake's got to go. You got to go, Jay Leno.
I got to go.
This was a thrill and a pleasure.
Well, thanks, guys. Thanks for having me. A lot of fun.
It's nice to see you.
Great to meet with a bunch of car guys who talk cars. Yeah.
Bunch of men.
Yeah. I like a big mini house that you drive around.
You certainly do.
Yeah,
I'm a boy who likes company.
Good to have some real guy talk.
I just don't have that in my brain. I'm sorry.
Next time we'll do moisturizers, huh? Yeah.
Ooh, that means there might be a next time.
That
means there might be a next time.
I learned my lesson, I'll tell you that.
Listen, seriously, a pleasure. Jay Leno, just a legend, living fucking legend.
Did you say serious, as in seriously?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Was that bad?
No. I just said I thought it was
bad,
a little play on this station.
No.
I'm not that smart.
He was being sincere.
I'm not that smart. Jay Leno's Garage Season 2 premieres tonight at 10 p.m. on CNBC. I saw the first episode. I loved it.
Thanks, guys. I appreciate it.
All right. Well, let's get out of here.
I'm in Albuquerque Friday and Salt Lake City Saturday.
All right, I got Nantucket in July and all around the city till then.
Oh, you'll be back before
Absolutely. Hopefully.
So thank you to Vic Henley and Jim Gaffigan and Daryl Hammond and, of course, Jay Leno. See you tomorrow.